Sudoku is a logic-based number puzzle played on a 9x9 grid divided into 9 3x3 boxes. The goal is to fill the grid correctly using numbers from 1 to 9. Each row contains the numbers 1 to 9 exactly once. Each column contains the numbers 1 to 9 exactly once. Every 3x3 box has numbers 1 to 9 exactly once. There are multiple levels of this game: simple, medium, and hard. There is only one unique solution for each game.
Let us understand various tips and tricks to play this game, which can be used to solve the Sudoku puzzle. Tip number 1. Box rows scanning method. Start with scanning rows of boxes. Search for numbers that come twice, then identify the box and row where this number is missing. Sometimes you will see that there is only one empty cell. In that case, you can fill the cell directly with that number. For more than one cell option, check the columns of those cells and eliminate the ones that already have that number present and can write notes for that number in the remaining cells. Check for all numbers from 1 to 9 in all 3 box rows and fill all possible solutions. After updating the numbers in the identified cells, the solution looks like this. Tip number 2. Box columns scanning method. Similar to box row scanning, scan for duplicate numbers in box columns and fill the relevant cells directly or write notes. Check for all numbers from 1 to 9 in all 3 box columns and fill all possible solutions. After updating the numbers in the identified cells, the solution looks like this. Tip number 3. Repeat tips 1 and 2. Repeat the box rows and column scanning as long as more solutions can be found. This way, we manage to fill more cells. Tip number 4. Elimination across cell box, rows, and column. For any empty cells, look within its box, across its row and columns to see which numbers are already present and what are missing. Fill those empty cells where only one number is missing, or write notes if 2 numbers are missing. Avoid writing notes for 3 or more missing digits as it becomes complicated to eliminate later on.
Tip number 5. Cross-hatching technique. This method helps find where a chosen number can go inside a chosen 3x3 box. For example, if we want to check for number 8 in the middle box, then we check if number 8 already exists outside in any of the row and column of that box. Eliminate all the rows and columns of inside the box where the chosen number exists. If only one cell remains, then the number can be filled directly, like we can fill number 8 here directly. Taking another example, trying to fill number 5 in the middle row box, we find there are 2 empty cells where there is no number 5 in their row or column. In that case, we can write notes. Avoid writing notes for 3 or more cells as it becomes complicated to eliminate later on. Tip number 6. Fill missing numbers. If any row, column, or box has 9 cells filled and only 1 cell is empty, then the missing number can be filled directly. For example, in the second row, there is only 1 empty cell, so we can fill a number 1 directly. If any row, column, or box has 8 cells filled and only 2 cells are empty, then the 2 missing numbers will be present in each of these empty cells. While updating each empty cell, check if any of the number appears in its corresponding row and column. If not present, then write the 2 numbers as notes in both the empty cells. For example, in this case, numbers 4 and 7 are missing in these 2 empty cells and not present in any of the associated rows and columns, so we write notes. If any of the number is present in either row or column, then fill the other number directly and the other number in the second empty cell. For example, in the row with 2 cells empty, we know it needs to be filled with 6 and 9, but as 9 is present in the column, we write 6 in that cell and write 9 in the other cell. Tip 7. Naked pair technique. If 2 cells in a row, column, or box contain the same number or pair of numbers, then it cannot appear again in other empty cells. If a single number is in 2 cells, we can assume that the number is covered in that box, row, or column. So while checking the missing number in different empty cells within a box, row, or column, the missing number can be identified. For example, in this scenario, when checking the last column, since number 9 is already covered in one of the 2 cells with notes, the possible value in this empty cell is either 1 or 4. Since there is already a 1 in the same row as this empty cell, only a 4 can be present here, and we can fill it directly. For the remaining number 1, it has to be in one of the places of 2 cells where 9 is written as notes. As there is already a 1 in the 8th row, it is easy to identify the unique cells for number 9 and number 1. On solving this, the updated puzzle looks like this. Taking another example of the first column, this has 2 cells with the number pair 5 and 6. That means numbers 5 and 6 will be in one of these 2 cells. So for the remaining single empty cell, we can assume 5 and 6 to be already present, and by elimination, number 4 can be directly filled in the last empty cell of this column. Tip 8. Make notes of candidate numbers. Repeat all the above tips as long as there are more solutions to fill cells. If you are unable to solve further, then scan all remaining empty cells and cells with notes written, checking their respective box, row, and column, and write all possible number candidates as notes inside the selected cells. Candidate numbers are the missing numbers from the box, row, and column of that cell. Do this for cells with notes also. This step should be done after filling as many cells as possible. Otherwise, there will be too many candidate numbers in each cell, making it difficult to solve. Let us take this example. After filling all possible candidates for the remaining cells, this is what we get. If there is only one candidate number as notes in a given cell, then it can be assumed to be the actual number for that cell. Here we have 3 cells with single candidate number. We can update them directly and we get this solution. If a number appears only once as a candidate number in either a box, row, or column, then it can be considered as an actual number. As you see in this row, number 9 is in only one cell, or in this box, number 8 is in only one cell. In both these cases, we can write the number directly, and the solution now looks like this. Let us take another example of making notes of candidate numbers. As we fill, we find many cells with only one candidate in the cell, like number 1 in these 2 cells. Or a candidate number coming only once in the box, row, or column, like number 3 or number 6 in these 2 cells. Or number 9 and number 7 in these 2 cells. In all these scenarios, these numbers can be filled in the cell directly. Tip 9. Hidden pair technique. These are advanced techniques used in very difficult puzzles. A hidden pair happens when 2 numbers can only appear in the same 2 cells within a row, column, or box. Even if those cells contain other candidate numbers, those extra numbers can be removed. If we fill all the unfilled cells in the middle row of boxes with candidate numbers, this is what we get. If we have numbers 2 and 5 repeated in these 2 cells and are not present anywhere else, then we can eliminate the extra numbers. Let us take some examples. In this box, numbers 2 and 5 appear in only 2 cells, so we can eliminate the other candidate number 6 from one of the boxes. Updated solution looks like this. In this scenario, 4 and 9 appear in only 2 cells, so we can remove number 5 from one of the boxes. Updated solution looks like this. Also note that there are only single candidates for these cells containing 6 and 1, so these can be updated directly as cell values. Updated solution looks like this. Let us take more examples. In the 7th row, the 4 and 3 pair comes only twice, and no other cell has a place for number 4 and 3. So these two must be 4 and 3. So we can remove 4 and 3 from the other cells in this box. Tip 10. X-wing pattern. The X-wing is an advanced Sudoku strategy used when a number appears in exactly 2 positions in 2 different rows and the same columns, or vice versa. These 4 cells form a rectangle that looks like an X pattern. When this happens, that number cannot appear in other cells of those columns or rows. Let us look at this example. We notice that number 6 appears in the 4th and 6th row only twice, that is, in columns 2 and 5, maxing it at X cross. In this case, we can assume 6 to be in these cells only and remove all other candidate number 6 from other cells. Tip 11. Swordfish pattern. The swordfish is an advanced Sudoku strategy. It is similar to the X-wing pattern, but involves 3 rows and 3 columns instead of 2. If a number appears only in the same 3 columns across 3 different rows, then that number cannot appear in those columns in any other rows. Let us look at this example. We notice that number 5 comes only 3 times in 2nd row, and then 2 times in 2 other rows in 2 of the same columns. Then we can assume it will be covered in these 3 columns as part of these 3 rows. So we can remove any candidate number 5 from all other rows if present in any of these 3 columns. Conclusion. As the puzzle progresses, we eliminate candidates until only one number remains. Good Sudoku solving habits. Fill obvious numbers first. Use pencil marks. Rescan rows and columns frequently. Avoid guessing. Focus on one number at a time, 1 to 9, and scan the entire grid. This makes solving much faster. Remember, Sudoku is a logic puzzle, not a guessing game.